Information fueled.
Opinion driven.
This is Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis.
And so, my fellow Americans,
we talk news.
5:06, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We are live on President's Day. How are you, friends? Super text line is open 615-737-9986. That train wreck of a weathercast. I don't know what that was. We were trying to, I guess, fix the weathercast because there are some issues with it. Let's go straight to the source. Let's go to Jay Harper.
Yes,
Jay,
Dan.
for the love of all that is holy, can you give us an actual weather forecast as opposed to what we got from our weather partners? So
Yep.
we have, I guess, is it 3 to 5 inches of possible accumulation? It's going to begin on Tuesday night into Wednesday morning.
Yeah, that's the threat, Dan. The first snow showers expected to arrive tomorrow evening. Well, at least in far northwest middle Tennessee and parts of southern Kentucky. And then later on, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, 1 to 2 inches expected across most of our area. But you go up toward Clarksville in that area, they could get, as much as 4 inches. So,
okay.
Yeah, it looks a little interesting. We'll just kind of have to do that wait and see thing.
Listen, go to Kroger, get your milk, get your bread, get all that stuff, and just be ready.
Yeah, get your beer, hit the liquor store.
Sure, absolutely. By the way, I don't know if you know this, Jay, but it is not my President's Day. Did you know that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that does not surprise me.
So apparently today, the resistance is going to be out in here in Nashville. It is the President's Day protest out at the Tennessee State Capitol at noon. I'm sure that'll be a raucous event.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I need?
Too bad it won't snow on them today.
I need the little crickets sound effect. Do you know what I mean? Because are people really going to show up to this? You know, they had some of these protests in Washington, D.C., and it was actually too cold for them. So they all went home. So I don't know. We'll see if anybody shows up to the Not My President protest out at the Tennessee State Capitol today at 12 o'clock. I'm going to have Jack Johnson on later on today. I'm going to ask him if they've got additional security, if they're ready for the onslaught of Not My President's Day protest out at the Capitol building. Thank you, KGB. All right. So, by the way, Joan has the day off today. She'll be back on, I believe, Jay, is she back on Tuesday?
Yeah, I suppose so. I know I'm not here tomorrow unless somebody else is filling in for her.
You notice Joan knew how much of a raucous news day it was going to be with the Not My President protest out at the state capitol. That's why she took the day off.
Yeah,
she didn't want to deal with all the insanity of the half dozen people that are probably going to show up.
Right. She's got a nose for news, and she just didn't want to deal with the income.
In all seriousness, there may be a significant number of people down there. I really don't know. You've got Justin Jones. You've got Gloria Johnson, Glojo. You've got Justin Pearson. And you've got all of the Democrats down there, and they've got their minions that come out and they do their thing that they do, whenever they want to go out and protest. That's what they do. So they'll come out, they'll do their thing. Here's what you're going to see on the news tonight. Then I promise I'm going to cover something more important. But here's what we're going to see on the news tonight. You're going to have all of the local news people. Jay, you know how this works. All the local news channels will be out there, and they'll have the chants, they'll have the signs, they'll have the protests. Not my president, orange man bad, blah, 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 blah. Elon Musk was not elected. All of the insanity that we're going to see. And whatever. Listen, that is their right. I'm sure that they got a permit and they did all the right things for the Not My President protest here on President's Day. Meantime, there's a lot of good that is happening from my president and for a lot of you folks, President Donald Trump. There is a lot going on. He was at the Daytona 500. Now, that was very cool in the sense that He took the beast around the track. So he had that. He gave an interview. He shook hands with a bunch of military folks. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more as the morning continues. By the way, Doge continues to rip through Washington, D.C., including there is another post that they have found. And now for people that are saying, well, there's no proof of what they're actually finding and accomplishing, well, there actually is. Do you know what they found over the weekend? They posted 121,000 people over the age of 160 years old that are collecting Social Security. Yep. They have found thousands of people well over the age of 100 years old. These are all people that are collecting Social Security. Most of them are dead. So you've got that out there. You've also got Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy posting that Donald Trump is looking for him to update and upgrade our air traffic control system. That is going to be going on today. Elon Musk is going to be touring the air traffic control system to see what he could do to help. I think Elon Musk is the perfect guy for that. Elon Musk and SpaceX and all the other things that he's got going on, absolutely. Elon Musk is the guy for the job. But Duffy said, Secretary of Transportation Duffy says that if any company is willing to come on out and help upgrade and update our air traffic control system, they need to speak up, because he wants the process to be open and transparent, which makes all the sense in the world. Donald Trump just wants the air traffic control system to be fixed. So that is something else that Trump wants to do. And it makes all the sense in the world. We'll have to see how easily it's done, because this has been a system, as you folks probably know, the air traffic control system has been ignored since, the 1980s. I mean, this is really, really old software, and it is old equipment. And we also know that there is a shortage of air traffic controllers out there. Speaking of shortages, watch us on YouTube. A guy, my buddy Kevin, on social media, he is asking me to comment on this story where the state of Tennessee, Mike Sparks, our friend Representative Mike Sparks, he wants to lower the age of bus drivers from the age of 25 down to the age of 21. Now, there are some people that are freaking out about this, including my friend Kevin on social media. Now, I can make the argument both ways. I will tell you that what we have done, watch us on YouTube, like us and subscribe to the channel. Watch us on YouTube. You can also watch us on Facebook and X and download all the podcasts and listen and all that kind of stuff. But take the Daily Dan poll. The Daily Dan poll this morning is, should the state of Tennessee lower the age of bus drivers? Right now, it is 25. The minimum age for a bus driver is 25. Should that be lowered to the age of 21? Now, a lot of people will tell you that if somebody can be drafted, then they should also be able to drive a bus. And I do understand that. There's a lot of pros and cons out there, but I want to know what you think. Take the Daily Dan poll, watch us on YouTube, and take the poll right now. KGB, who is monitoring the numbers, what do the good people of Middle Tennessee have to say?
Right now, it's 65% at no to a 35% yes. It started out high for yes, but it looks like the no's have taken over, and it's actually continuing to rise. 67 now, 68 to
Can
no.
you imagine I'm just going to say it because I'm a sexist, apparently, probably. But if I'm a sexist against, my own gender, then fine. Can you imagine a 21-year-old bus driving man with a bunch of 16 and 17-year-old female bus riders? Can you imagine that? But it's the same thing. I won't be sexist. Okay, so what about a 21-year-old female bus driver and a bunch of 16, 17-year-old hormone-ridden teenagers? But I think it's a legitimate comment to make. It is a legitimate comment to make where it's like, okay, you know what? So here's the thing. If you have, if you can be drafted, then you should be allowed to drive a school bus. There is some training that is involved in driving a school bus, and we'll get into some. Several middle state school districts are short dozens of bus drivers. Here's the thing. we can either, I'm going to argue with myself, just so you know, I'm giving all of the points because I don't really feel strongly about this either way. But you got a bunch of openings. We are in a big time shortage of school bus drivers. And so that's why Sparks wants to lower the age. Several mid-state school districts are short dozens of bus drivers. Now, one state lawmaker has filed a bill he hopes is going to fix all that. It would lower that minimum age for school bus drivers. Mike Sparks again says, we will allow 18-year-olds to go into the military. I think we should be able to drive a bus to 21. Currently, we are one of the most restrictive states in the nation. It would be a reversal of a state law that passed in 2017. I remember this. I bet you a lot of you folks remember this as well. Back in 2017, they raised the minimum wage because there was that horrific bus crash. Remember this? The 24-year-old school bus driver crashed a bus in Chattanooga, resulting in the death of 6 elementary school students. It was horrible. And so Sparks saying, though, in light of all of that, I am sure I voted for that piece of legislation because it was a very emotional issue at the time. However, listen to these shortages. Metro Nashville Public Schools, they are short 86 drivers. Clarksville, Montgomery County Schools, they are short 50. Williamson County Schools, they have 29 vacancies. Wilson County Schools said they want to hire 10 to 15 more drivers. Here's the other thing, and I don't know why I didn't notice this or know this, but I do now. Did you know that you can't actually rent a car until you're 25? Do you know that, KGB?
I did, yes.
Okay. Why didn't I know that?
I don't know, but I remember specifically when I turned 25, my parents were like, hey, you can rent a car now.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't rent a car until you're 25. So that would be a knock against allowing a 21-year-old to drive a school bus. Most bus drivers earn between $29,000 and $44,000 a year. To become a school bus driver in the state of Tennessee, you need a CDL with a passenger endorsement, state-approved training, and a clean background check. Training classes typically cover school bus operation, traffic laws, school student management, and emergency procedures. Do you know, I think the reason why there's a school bus driver shortage isn't because of the age restriction. It's because, I mean, with all due respect to bus drivers who I love and respect, who wants to be a bus driver? Like, kids suck these days, especially in Nashville. Is that wrong to say? Everyone
Absolutely
goes quiet.
Not,
everyone
man.
goes quiet.
Yeah, who wants? I mean, you're always hearing stories about something happening on a bus,
Right.
and
You know what?
who wants to deal with that?
you know-
And then you used to be, Dan. As a bus driver or a teacher, what have you, you could discipline the kids, but now you do that, and you got the parents on your case.
Yep.
So who wants to deal with that?
That's exactly right, Jay. Bring the fire, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Now listen, all you Nashville bus drivers, at least you're not driving a bus in Philadelphia. Right? At least that's a positive. Certification requirements include being 25 or older these days, passing physical exams, and completing classroom and hands-on training for safe driving practices. You know how much money bus drivers make, school bus drivers make? They say here, and maybe it's changed, an hourly wage of $20.11, amounting to approximately $41,600 annually. So, I don't know. I think there's better ways to make a living, but I have the utmost appreciation and respect for school bus drivers. But I don't know. So, Jay, what do you think? Well, you got an official news person opinion on this? Save it, make it 20, keep it 25 or lower it to 21. What do you think?
Well, perhaps if they paid more,
Right.
maybe they wouldn't have this shortage. Of course, you could say that about a lot of professions, I suppose. But,
yeah, that's true.
You
do get summers off. You do get summers off, but they don't. I'm assuming they don't get paid during the summer.
Yeah,
but they do get summers off, and I don't know.
I don't know. I'm kind of the examples you were presenting earlier. 21-year-old goofball.
Oh yeah,
behind the wheel.
Oh yeah,
with all these kids, I just don't know how much respect they could command.
Walking onto the bus with his letter of certification. Hey, ladies, I'm certified. Is that wrong? KGB, what do you think?
Well,
you're closer to school bus rider age
School
than
bus
all
ri-
of us, than me and Jay.
well, I don't know. 21, I was pretty immature. I think there's a lot of maturity to it. Like, you got to be patient. Mm-hmm. You got to like be patient with these kids because there's going to be kids that are going to mess with you. And you got to learn to handle that well.
So you're saying there's a possibility they're not mature enough at 21.
Maybe it's more of a patience thing because, again, if a kid's like flicking your ear or throwing a spitball at you at 21,
right?
It's like a fight or flight response. It's not more of a you are kind of older now. You know what it's like to be around kids. Like you could be you could be a father of your own. You could be an uncle or something like that. You could have that patience. But if you're just a 20-year-old kid still in college,
yep.
It's going to be a little different scenario. Mm-hmm. So I think it has a lot to do with the person itself. I think you got to do it on a person-by-person basis.
They say the average age of a bus driver, can you guess what it is, KGB?
I'll say 38.
All right. What do you say, Jay?
Oh, I guess I'm saying older than that. I would say 47.
57.
Yeah.
57. All right. So